With Halloween round the corner, it's just inevitable that we create something pumpkin. While I've done a pumpkin bread and a pumpkin pie, it's about time that we go non-dairy with a warm, fall-spiced pumpkin Bundt cake. Don't forget to subscribe and hit on the bell icon as we get to creating it. Lazy cooking, so into a stand mixer goes in 1 cup of cane sugar along with 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And we're trying to create a healthy version of this. So into this goes 4 whole eggs. And I'm just going to mix everything up well together. Along with 1 cup of cold pressed sunflower oil. Just put it all in along with the beautiful pumpkin puree. So I'm going to take nearly 1.5 cups of pumpkin puree and dunk it in. A squirt of vanilla in, nearly a teaspoonful of it. And we're just going to get to blitzing this up really well together. Now with the wet ingredients well emulsified, into a bowl I've got 2 cups of refined flour. Into that goes 2 teaspoons of baking powder along with a teaspoon of baking soda. And now it's about heavily spicing everything up. So a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg powder, 1/2 teaspoon of clove powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of ginger powder. And this forms that glorious pumpkin spice that goes into lattes and everything else. Just mix this up and the scents are sharp. You can increase the spice to suit your need, and I've gone a little overboard with the cinnamon. With the wet ingredients just blitzing, I'm going to put a teaspoon of sea salt into it along with 50 grams of roughly chopped walnuts just to go in and give it some kind of texture into this glorious cake. In goes the dry ingredients, and I'm going to divide it into 2 parts just so that it mixes well. So 1 part in, heavily spiced with all that pumpkin spice goodness, and on a slow mix it emulsifies. And we're just going to add the last part in. All this needs to do is go into a Bundt mold ready to bake. I've lightly greased and dusted with flour my silicone Bundt mold, and I'm gently going to pour the cake batter right in. Into a preheated oven, this goes at 170 degrees Celsius for just about 40 minutes. 40 minutes of allowing this to bake, and my cake has literally taken a life of its own. A slight crack, but it's not the problem at all. 15 minutes of allowing the cake to cool down. We've demolded it, and don't be alarmed by the color because that's because of that glorious cane sugar. I'm just going to glaze it all with some maple syrup, nearly 20 to 30 mils, and this decadent creation is ready. I hope you enjoyed creating my version of a healthy, non-dairy, fall-spiced pumpkin Bundt cake, which flavors are intense. And if you want to skip the refined flour and use half and half with some oatmeal, or go right ahead and replace it all together with some almond meal for a denser version of a cake. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button. Stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to leave a note below.